What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Riders Republic video. This game is one of those games that you can just continue to play over and over as long as the game continues to draw you in. So I finally was able to beat the Trail of the Ridge course, and this was based on a lot of feedback from you guys here in the Riders community. So I appreciate your thoughts and your tips and your tricks. In fact, it was such a harrowing experience that I literally walked my way through to the finish line. Oh, no, I'm just joking, guys. I actually beat it twice. The very first time, somebody mentioned in the comment section, that I should try first person. I tried that. It worked out for me in many aspects of the course, but because I'd gotten so used to the third person and trying out the course, it wasn't able to help me finish and fine tune everything. And plus, I'd already gotten used to the third person controls in the narrow sections, and so I just said, why not just keep going third person if I'm getting closer and closer to beating it. Somebody also said, you could just come down from your bike and walk the rest of it, and I said, that's actually pretty funny. That's pretty cool. And you can actually just basically switch to foot in specific areas if you wanted to do that. I mean, it's a game, it's fun. I don't think there are any hard fast rules, which I did to kind of first beat it. I was like, man, I gotta beat this thing. And so by any means possible, if I have to walk on some of the ledges, I would do that. And I did walk on the ledges, and I finally got my bike back on and all that stuff, and I was able to go ahead and conquer it. But then just immediately I got on my bike, and at that point, I think the psychology of seeing the course fall before me, even though I used unorthodox methods to beat it the first time, I went after it the very second time, and it was actually a lot of fun. There was a little bit of backtracking. I think maybe I'll put myself in a position where I can beat it without backtracking and just go for it clean, but that's going to be a very, very huge challenge because the input lag is so weird, man, and the controller dead zones. I keep fine-tuning my settings, and I still cannot come up with what I feel is the most optimal settings for some of these tight courses. I think it's just one of those things where you just have to go with the flow, man. It's insane. Another thing too is I don't know if people who are playing on Xbox are getting this, because I remember the trial, the Xbox version did not have any of this input lag, but you never know in the full game release how this is going to look like. So that's one thing that's very, very interesting and cool about this. So if you want to learn any tips about this, or you want to figure out how to beat this stuff, I mean, I think you just have to continue to try. And like I've said, the feedback from the community about trying the first person mode, about sometimes when you get to a really tight corner, just basically getting off your bike and turning your character himself, then getting back on your bike, that could be also very helpful because there's some really weird tight turns and twists. And again, another thing too is if you get off your character, yes, you may want to walk, but my settings are trash for the third person character. There were times I was walking and in a straight line, and because I had already made my left and right stick sensitivity somewhat sensitive, my player would just be jittering and falling off the ledge even if it didn't have a bike. So these are a few considerations to have when it comes down to this, but I guess it's something that brings a challenge to this game. And I also want to go find some more of these ridges and pretty much start to deal with them and take them out, because they are starting to get on my last nerve. But, in other notes, I think another set of things that could also be very interesting about this game is you can take a break from any of the sports at any time and you could go do another activity. And I think for the past few days, I've just been doing all kinds of other activities. I've been working on the snowboarding, which those snowboarding challenges are insane. I think that's my strongest suit. Well, not necessarily snowboarding itself. I think maybe snowboarding and skiing provide me a lot more, I would say, flexibility or much more exposition of my skills, because they just somehow click with me. The biking has been a pain for not just me, but for a lot of other people. So I think this is something the developers need to continue to look into when it comes to patches. This is something developers need to look into when it comes to fine-tuning, because these are values that work with one another in terms of a mathematical sense. So the camera, the controls, the the sensitivity of your left and right sticks, and even the impact of the dead zones that they've decided to use. So what values are they using for them, and how are those values being calculated relative to one another? These are very huge questions when it comes to these game design parameters that I feel like the developers need to go back and look at, because there is something about a game as such as this, and it's also a delicate balance too, because people have already gotten used to the controller scheme that are playing the game and achieving and have leveled up very significantly. So it may be something where we just have to live with the culture of this game. I think my next option is probably to get myself another copy on a different platform, like I've been talking about Xbox, and pretty much just letting my progress just transfer over there using Uplay or Ubisoft Connect. That way I can just keep my progress and then continue to play on that platform as well. But again, I'll talk to you guys in another video. I want to hear your thoughts. If you have beaten this, what did you do? Leave it in the comment section so that people can just kind of read through and, you know, glean some ideas from you, because you guys were the ones that pretty much walked me through this. This is not a game that I'm used to, but it's definitely a game that I'm willing to learn and, you know, get into as much as I possibly can. All right, we'll talk soon in another video where we'll be looking at some of the ice and, and some of the snow sports. I hope that this video has been quite, I don't know, educational, interesting, or enlightening. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.